Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another edition of Straight Shooting Sports Talk on this Tuesday, December 20th. Boy, that was not the Monday night football game that Redskins fans were hoping for, was it? With everything on the line. Everything on the line. They can't get it done. It's a shame. It really is. It was one of those things where you really didn't know which team out of that matchup was playing for its playoff lives. I mean, seriously. If you looked at this game with no records, just knowing that it's the end of the season, you would have thought that the Carolina Panthers were the ones playing for its playoff lives. And no, that was not the case by any means. The Washington Redskins had an opportunity to not seal the deal, but help their cause by getting a win at home against a 5-8 Carolina Panthers team, a defense ranked 30th in the pass, a defense that everyone knew were ranked number 2 in rushing attack, holding teams down, but could not stop the pass. And the telling stat here for the Washington Redskins is their inability to convert on third downs. They were 2 of 12. That has been a bit of an issue for the Washington Redskins. Now, what has been a major issue was for their defense to be allowing a lot of conversions for first downs on third down and mainly third and long. And they did quite well last night, only allowing 4 of 15 third down conversions. Not bad at all. Now, they only were able to get to Cam 2 times last night. But the 3 turnovers, 2 fumbles lost. You know you can't win football games having turnovers. And I'm going to tell you, this is why I did not pick the Washington Redskins yesterday. For the simple fact is that when the moment shines the brightest, this team finds a way to cower and hide. And I tell you what really was a telling sign when I felt that the Washington Redskins did not stand a chance and we're not going to win this ball game, when the play that Coleman made on the interception of Kirk Cousins, when he made that interception, when you look at it from the quarterback's eyes and you look at the play from where the quarterback is standing, the ball was well thrown, and at the moment he was open. He really was. Coleman made an excellent play coming downhill, kind of disguising what he was doing a little bit, coming downhill and making a play on the football. And really, it was more so a great play than a bad throw. Kirk really, after that, appeared to not want to throw the ball downfield, was very gun shy, and turned into the old Kirk Cousins. Another unfortunate thing, and it was pretty much, if you thought that the Redskins were going to run the ball, extremely well, I think you were fooling yourself. Rob Kelly, 9 carries, 8 yards, 1 touchdown. And I think that's what should be expected against a team that they basically thrive on that. Their objective is to key on the things that you do well, attack the pocket to try to get to your quarterback, and absolutely under no circumstances allow you to run the football. And they do an excellent job in their front seven of taking care of those things. I felt that Sean McVay didn't do such a great job of taking advantage of a team that does not like to play man to man. They play a lot of zone. Did not use. Well, they used Vernon Davis. Vernon Davis had a bad day, and I felt like if Jordan Reed wasn't healthy, then Jordan Reed shouldn't have been out there. Now, with that being said, they didn't really. It was almost as if he was a decoy out there, but they didn't take advantage of the zones that were out there. In the middle of the field, a lot of out passes, which we know that Kirk doesn't do a very good job of. It's just not what he does well. That the first play out of the gate, they throw an out, and it looks like it's about ready to be picked off, kind of like that Eagles game. But again, I think the frustration with Redskins fans is that this team, every time that there's an opportunity to get a win, the destiny is in your hands to shape, the outcome, and they go out and they are lackluster, uninspired, and unmotivated, and it basically just got out physicaled out there on the field. No push by the offensive line in the running game, and they were just manhandling them. Stewart, Colbert, Fozzie Wazzie, just killing them. And we want to talk.
Playoffs?
Not likely. Only thing I can say is, and I've said this, I think if you follow me on Twitter, you follow me on Facebook, I said this earlier today. A lot of people were looking at the record of the Carolina Panthers and figured that because the Redskins had a quality record that they would just go in and handle business. Excuse me. And again, they will face the Chicago Bears in Soldier Field. And if you think that the Chicago Bears are going to lay down and just let them come into Soldier Field and get a win, you are sadly mistaken. This team is quite hungry, gave Green Bay all they could handle, and will give the Washington Redskins all they can handle. And they sorry, battling this cold. They will be less a few individuals in the defense due to injuries. Maybe Sua Cravens comes back, but they have some injuries, the Washington Redskins do, and that's going to make a difference, even bigger difference. And whether they can stop the run, which Howard has been phenomenal, and whether they can cover the pass. I'm sorry. Look, I don't, you get a guy off the street. You get a guy off the street, and he's not on anybody's roster. And Dante Whitner needs to find the bench. He just doesn't have the legs at all. You know how when, I don't know, some of you are young, some of you are older. You know how when you get up in age and some of the things you used to do, could do, and your mind tells you can do it, and then when you go to do it, it's nothing like it used to be. That's Dante Whitner. I mean, mentally, he probably totally understands and gets everything in the meetings. Totally understands what the Washington Redskins are trying to do defensively. He can't simply execute it. His legs aren't going to allow him to do that. Please, Lord, please find somebody else to play that position. Because there's no way, and we talked about it on this show yesterday, there's no way that Ted Ginn Jr. should have gotten behind him on a simple route. It wasn't anything, no double moves or anything like that. Simple release down the field. Nothing major. And he's nowhere to be found, and he's looking around like, what happened? Horrible. Well, they get another shot at it on Saturday. Quick turnaround for the Washington Redskins. They get another shot at it on Saturday. And we'll see if they can try to make
Playoffs?
Highly unlikely. But looking at the playoff picture for the NFC, we have the 12-2 Dallas Cowboys at the number 1 spot, followed by the Seattle Seahawks at the 2 spot, 3 Atlanta Falcons, 4 Detroit Lions, 5 Green Bay Packers, 5 New York Giants, 6 Green Bay Packers. And I tell you, this NFC divisional, this NFC race, playoff race is going to get very interesting. You look at the Green Bay Packers and their final schedule, and it's pretty favorable. They do have to face Detroit, the final game of the season in Detroit. Minnesota this Saturday, going to be an interesting matchup in Green Bay. I think they take that. Minnesota has an excellent defense. Unfortunately, their offense with no running game, and if they can't find a running game, it's putting a lot of pressure on Sam Bradford. I know everybody's saying the guy sucks, but he played an excellent 4 or 5 weeks, maybe even 6 weeks, with no running game. And now it gets tighter as you get down the stretch. It is December football, and they're going to have to find a way. But Aaron Rodgers telling people to relax, that they were going to turn this thing around, and they have done just that. Do they get in? I think they can. I think they lose to Detroit, though, at the end of the season and the last game of the season there. But it's going to be an interesting ride there. You look at the Detroit Lions. They come in this Monday night. They play the 12-2 Dallas Cowboys. I think this is going to be a great matchup, and we're going to make our picks on that. We're going to pick that Monday night game because we will be off on Monday. We're going to pick that Monday night game here on Thursday or Friday. And I tell you, I really, really like this matchup. It's going to be interesting to see how Detroit works the Dallas defense. It's going to be interesting to see what Ron Marinelli does with the talent that he has and what he's been doing, and see what he's going to do as far as to take away some things that Matt Stafford likes to do well is in Dallas. So it favors them quite well. And then, of course, they play the Green Bay Packers in the final game. Then you have the New York Giants, a team that is hot, not hot offensively, though. Defensively, man, they're rocking them and socking them. Last week, they beat the Lions 17-6. Some 2 touchdowns by Odell Beckham Jr. And they hold them down at home. They get the Philadelphia Eagles next, who are just reeling out of control. No fault of their own. A young quarterback, not really any defiant or, standout wide receivers. And their defense has been giving up a bit to the opposing teams. Going to be interesting. Could be another one of those 10-3, 10-6, 13-10, 16-13 type ball games. But the Giants have been finding a way to do that. And this is what the Giants do. This is what they do. They kind of lull you to sleep. They don't look spectacular doing it. They seem to find ways to win. And their defense has gotten hot. And they played the Washington Redskins in the final game. That's going to be a tough matchup for Washington. And every time it's going to be in Washington, which is good. But, man, it seems like every time they play the Giants when it matters, they don't seem to come out of the locker room. So that's going to be interesting. I think Giants pretty much have locked up that spot there in the playoffs, and where they stand at the 5th spot. I think the only spot that's going to be available is that 6th spot. And I really, really believe that Tampa Bay, I'm going to say it right here, right now, I think Tampa Bay finds a way to get in. I really do believe that Green Bay loses to Detroit in that final game. I think Tampa Bay finds a way to get in, and they get in as that 6th seed, and it's going to be a divisional matchup in the first round for the Atlanta Falcons. Tampa Bay and Atlanta. I mean, you look at the New Orleans Saints. I think they can take them. And Carolina by week 17 will probably be going fishing. I think they can match the physicality of that team, and they will be able to take advantage of that weak secondary that Carolina has. And they'll be able to get those 2 wins, get in at a 10-6. I believe it's 10-6 they would be, and they would get that 6th spot. So tomorrow we'll break down the AFC, take a look at that, and see how that's going to shape out. I'll give you my predictions on the final 6, who I think can get in. But, man, we got an exciting playoff race on both sides, AFC, NFC. It's going to be great to couple with the college football bowl games that will be coming up starting this weekend. Then you have the playoff games in 2 weeks. Going to be some great football, whether you're a college fan, an NFL fan. It's some great games coming up as we start closing into the last 2 weeks of the NFL season. And we're going to try and work in talking about these Christmas Day games a little bit. I'm really excited about the Christmas Day games. It's to me, it's like the midway point. It's probably truly not the midway point, but it's the midway point for me when basketball starts to become relevant, when they really start to get after it. Usually right around Christmas time, they start to pick it up a little bit more, and then in February, right after the All-Star break, it really starts to kick off. And it gets really exciting. So I'm looking forward to the start of focusing more and more on basketball as the NFL season winds down and the NBA seasons get started up. So, again, you want to get at us. If you have any questions or anything you want to talk about, you just want to talk shop, get at us at straightshootingst@gmail.com. And that is the email address. If you want to get at me directly, you can hit me up on Twitter at NotBland21. That's NotBland21, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. We love talking shop with the fans and love talking about football, basketball, whatever the case may be. Sports is a lot of fun. It really takes our minds off of the mundane things and the crazy things that go on in this world and gives us a little bit of solace in our lives. Well, we thank you so much for listening to the show, and we'll get at you tomorrow. Same bat time, same bat channel.
Yeah, crab cakes and football. That's what Maryland does.